What's fucking good, YouTube? It's your boy Q here, and today I got a short rant for you guys. And I hate doing rants, but before I get into that, if you guys couldn't tell what I am playing some League play with the Brohams. We're playing Express Hardpoint, and I'm having fun with my scuff in this game. Anyways, so let's get into this. So this question kind of was brought up a couple days ago to one of my friends, and when I say this, I'm not recluding necessarily to just competitive Call of Duty. I'm kind of recluding this to also competitive gaming across the board, and however you want to take this and really take this on the chin. But someone told me whether the internet has broken up competitive gaming or broken up the community of competitive gaming completely. And what people have to understand is that I wouldn't say necessarily YouTube or the internet. I think with the resource that is the internet and YouTube, we've learned a lot more than we would have had years ago, and we're talking about gamers that grinded on a different level. We like in COD 4, I grinded on GB. I was on game battles, grinding out like a warrior, and we had people that, again, like, for fighting games, you had guys that chilled in arcades or chilled in people's basements and grinded and just played and learned their combos through the manual and through practice and through really getting it down. Or people that invented, like in Magic, Magic winning decks from playing a lot and qualifying for Pro Tour and learning different things while they're out there. And I wouldn't say like it has changed from the last 10 years upwards, because we had very limited resources. I want to say 10 years ago when I was like 13 or 14, and now it's 2013 and we are widely open to the resources of what is the best. We have things that tell us what are the best setups and what are the best strategies and what are the best ways to win and what's the best ways to play. And and like certain things, what are the best guns, best characters, best decks, best cards, so etc. and it goes on. But here where it kind of drifts between the community and the real pro players is that you guys got the pro players up there doing their thing, and then we have the community kind of sitting there, and they're creating a golden. We've created a golden standard, and I know the community and the pro players are part of a whole, but you have to think of a thing, and such that people in our community are really held up to a golden standard. And I know the StarCraft community was in that growing pain of of that. And when I say this is that if you do play the best setups, you're antagonized for playing the best setups. Like, for instance, Chris G is out there playing Morgan, Doom, Virgil, and Marble 3, and people think that's a really cheap setup. It's all Fireball setups, but it's a really hard team to learn. It's a hard team to master, and it's a hard team to get everything down for it. And Chris has gotten it down. He's one of the he is the best player in the world playing Morgan, Virgil, Doom. And you have Clayster out there having one of the best FALs in Black Ops 2, and Nadeshot having one of the best ANs and Black Ops 2, and it goes on and on, and everyone has their specialty, and we place everyone all on a pedestal. But when people go out, I want to say, like, when other people go out and try these tactics, and I'm not a Clayster, but I love the FAL. I love going out there and using the FAL. But people look at it as cheap because their skills cannot be on par. I want to say the community isn't broken. I want to say that we are spoiled now. We look at things and we want to be given these things. We want to be given these things for free. And certain things that are overpowered need time to master. Like the FAL, if you go click, you're not gonna do anything. If, like, Like if I sit, like I have a trigger finger, so you know my FAL is going to be on point to an extent. But I didn't like just get a trigger finger out of nowhere. I practiced, and I learned. And you know all these, you know, certain things that do need to be buffed need to be buffed. Like for instance, CAF 40, obviously, still in its current state is kind of bullshit. But you know, even though that it is banned and competitive, you look at the community in general is that they complain when something becomes far and exceedingly overpowered, that they don't realize that, you know, hey, why don't we just play that? Or why don't we play, you know, spellbooks or elemental dragons, or why don't we run an FAL or run an MA, or why don't we get a scuff so we can play better and learn how to play better and start to realize what these guys have been doing well and dissect what they've been doing well and really imply it to what we do. But instead what we do is we antagonize these things and how broken these things are and how hard they are to challenge and how hard they are to beat, when you know, you just got to fight fire with fire at the end of the day. And we expect way too much out of these things. And we kind of just don't just sit there and take apart the best tactics and try to counterplay and see how you can take it apart and, you know, break it down and destroy the best tactics out there. And that's where we're at right now. We have a dividing line of people that bitch and moan, that if you don't do this and that, and you know, it's never winning, and you know, it's never something that you can win. And then we have these guys that are, you know, on the daily, on the grind, really depicting on what they can and cannot do and what they can do to better it. I think that's where the community needs to be, is that we need as a whole come together and say, all right, how can we better ourselves and how can we adjust ourselves to do better? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Like always, you know the spiel, counter rate, subscribe, and have a good day, guys. I'm out. I'm going to go adventure and see what the world has for me. And take care, guys. Peace.